Hey, we are live, Fired Up Studios, New Jersey.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Lisa. We're here. We're back. We're back. Episode 1 of 12, and we are on fire in here. Are we not, Lisa?
No,
We are
it's
on.
nice and cool in here.
Oh yeah, well, it's beautiful in here. It's blazing outside, and the industry's on fire. There's a million things going on. There's a lot to talk about this season. We have 12 episodes locked and loaded. This is episode 1, where it's just me. So sit back, relax, have your lunch, have some coffee, iced coffee, whatever it is you're having. Let's chat, jump into the comments, and let us know where you are, what you're up to, and what's got you fired up today, yesterday, this year, whatever it might be. Want to have some conversations. Any questions you might have along the way, please jump in with some questions or some commentary. I'd love to have a little discussion. We're gonna dive into a bunch of different things. Lisa, how have you been?
Me, I've been busy. I've been great.
Yeah.
And I'm already going to start reading comments because we got Let's Go Rich. What's up, Rich Maliki? What's up, Fired Up? Welcome back. You guys were missed. And I love this
Yeah,
one.
thank you.
What's up, Disruptors?
What's up, Vin? Vin is down in Florida, Pompano Beach, living the dream. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm sure it's hot down there, so stay cool. We're here. We are here. It's been a while, Lisa, and that's kind of why we are here. This is episode 1. It's been a while, and I wanted to jump on the first episode to kind of give everybody some insight as to where I've been, where Lisa's been, where we've all been on this side of the camera. You've definitely still seen some content. We're still pumping out some things. A lot of pizza reviews we're doing, and that's kind of the fun part of what we're doing. And we like to tie in manufacturers with that. And we see a lot of Marsal ovens out there, a lot of Baker's Pride ovens out there. What I'm excited to see out there very soon are some of these Pizza Group conveyor ovens, the Dragon, Lisa, which we've seen in action at the Pizza Expo in Vegas and at NRA.
And it's funny because every time we do a pizza review, I think I keep thinking of the pizza we had from Pizza Group because nothing matches up to it.
It really, I tell you, it really, and this is not a plug or anything. It's just we're talking. It really isn't. It's an awesome oven. The refractory stone, and it comes out crispy every time. It was. And listen, I've also learned something about myself. I love to serve people. I love to serve people food. So and you could see on some of the vlogs. I think we could see on some of the vlogs
Yes.
of NRA where we're cutting pizza and we're serving to the people. And hey, listen, that's something that I'm gonna look into in the near future. I'm gonna probably need a good pizza chef and a GM. And are you willing to go to the Keys? That's the question.
So we've got a lot of people in here. Thanks
We got
so
some
much
people.
for joining, guys.
Nice. Thank you, everybody, for joining on episode 1. We're going to talk a little bit about some things. You have anything interesting I should
No questions.
hit on before we go?
No.
Let's give some quick shout outs. What do we got?
Oh, I've been shouting everyone out. But hello, Pierre Ricasa.
Pierre.
He said, "Great to see you back. I'm raining here in Chicagoland."
Ah,
And then I put up Jeff Victory already.
Jeff.
Jerry Lamoth, Jay Maiden, Nick Cribb.
Nick Cribb, Mr.
Yeah.
President. Yes, sir. Nice. And Jeff Victory's on, one of the Marcone boys.
Pat Finley. Hello, Pat. Finley in here.
Pat Finley's in here?
Yeah.
My man, Pat. All right. So listen, we're fired up live today, ladies and gentlemen. We're in New Jersey. Summer's here, and it's wild, just like it is for everybody else in the service industry. You're probably all double time, triple time. This is the busiest time of the year for everybody, and more so than ever. I think it's after this pandemic. I think a lot of people can attest that it's been crazy, and I'm not upset. I love it. I love the busyness. I love the craziness of it all. Somehow, some way, I feel like I thrive in all the stress of it all. Which leads me to one of the reasons that we, and I have my papers here, old school style. Lisa didn't want me to hold. Lisa didn't want me to hold any papers. That's right, because I'm going to throw them out every time I'm done with this. Good night, America. So, Lisa, what happened last after FedCon? FedCon was crazy, first of all. Yeah. So thank you to everybody who came to FedCon. We haven't been live since April of last year, I believe, right?
Yes, we did try. I tried to stay live with that, at the lunch table, but that was tough.
Yeah, no, listen, doing these live shows are not easy. From the production to the content to just scheduling the time. So you put all those things together, and I don't want to, because I'm always over here saying there's always time to do content and do stuff, and there is. but you just have to pick and choose what the content's going to work for you to keep yourself relevant and stay out there. And we did that. I think we did a good job of that. But listen, so what happened last April? After FedCon, which again takes so much time to put on a conference, the people putting on conferences out there, bless your hearts. I mean, it's a grind. I know Cefesa Conference will be coming up in October, so hopefully we'll get out there in San Antonio and see everybody. So, as you may or may not know, there was an acquisition that we did here at Malachy of Service Masters back in September 2021, which my man Vinny over there is in the. I think he's still here. He decided to move on, and rightfully so. I mean, he paid his dues, and and we sat down and we figured it out. And listen, truth be told, it's been a journey. It's been a journey since September 2021, and you fast forward right after FedCon, which I'm going to talk at before I get to the fast forward. Let me just say this: acquisitions. Because I do have people reaching out to me from time to time talking about this, actually, acquiring a company in the industry. I have people reaching out more recently, Lisa, that I don't even tell you this, but that aren't even in the industry looking to get into it and saying, hey, I'm going to acquire a company. I want to do this because you have some time. And I kind of give them the rundown. I think there's a lot of naivete in what it is to run a service business from a lot of the questions and commentary. But acquiring a company really takes so much. And, you think you have it all figured out. You're doing your best. You're confident, you have all these things going for you. I moved out to Long Island basically for the better part of 3.5 months. I sat out there with the current employees, and we dove in. We dove right in. I lived in a beautiful Hilton Garden Inn down the road, and we dove right in, going into the software, going into the procedures. We brought technology to the game with tablets and smartphones, and kind of went paperless. And with all these changes, I've spoken to many industry veterans and people I look up to, and they let me know, listen, when you do an acquisition, be prepared to lose people along the way. It's going to be a natural progression. That's what happens when you make an acquisition, and early on we didn't have any of that. And truth be told, we ended up losing a couple of people, regardless of the reasons. These are things that begin to put kinks in the chain. You got to start figuring things out. We were able to hire some other additional technicians quickly, and we were able to kind of spill over a lot of the stuff into this New Jersey warehouse and offices because we have a lot of support here. So, of course, we're still thriving in New York City, Long Island, all the boroughs. It's really amazing. The numbers are up. Vinny, I'll share those with you. Things are looking up. We're on the upward incline, so it's a good thing. But it's one of those things where I think I made a mention that you think just when you think you don't know. So we got hit in the face, and this is to no blows to my team. At the end of the day, it all falls on me. Sometimes I could be a bit of a maniac here. I think Lisa can attest to that.
I would not ever say that.
I could get a little crazy. I think that's in my DNA. I don't know. My father was a bit of a maniac up here. He was crazy. But listen, he got stuff done, and he built this thing from the early 80s. And when I got out of high school and started doing things, now I'm here, and I learned a lot from him. So I think a lot of that was kind of passed down from me watching and listening, probably saying I don't ever want to be like that, and then in my DNA. So anyway, I get a little crazy, and I got a little crazy here back, I'd say last May. Different emails start coming through, different messages start coming through, and truth be told, listen, I think I just actually read something. Why do I act like my business is my life? Because my business is my life. And anyone that's in business can understand that. This is where I've lived and breathed, and my blood, sweat, and tears are in the bricks here down too. And I understand my father more than ever. So when things are kind of falling out of line, and you see systems and processes slowly starting to fall away the way it used to be, which I do hate that. I do hate that. Oh, it's how we always used to do it. Well, it's 2023. We do it this way now. We have to continue to evolve. So I had to get back in here and get these systems and processes shifted because the old ones weren't working anymore. And now we're in these other markets, and I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, this was a big undertaking, personally for a lot of reasons on being able to acquire that business and on the business, the burdens and different things that come with acquisitions. Financially, especially financially speaking, you know, the stress gets added, and I like to think that I'm cool-headed most of the time, but sometimes, you get back in the trenches and you're starting to see this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. We don't have enough people, we don't have enough, there's so many things that go into it. So that's where I kind of said no more lives, Lisa.
Mhm.
Let's cut back the lives. Let's focus on some other pieces of content. I even got quiet in the Fed group. I got quiet over in the Fed group, which, by the way, you're seeing it rotating here. Definitely, if you're not part of it, get on over to Facebook, get over into the community. There's people joining every day. It's still growing. It's still a great community, and we're going to look to continue to build on that now a little more so than ever. What do we got?
Jason Hartman, hey buddy, he says passion and vision is nothing to be apologetic about.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, and I appreciate that. It is, and I say that sometimes too because I'll, and I just had to do it just now because Geraldine, if whoever watches, I'm sure you've heard Geraldine's name before. She's running our service department up here, and I will say that listen, that's a hot seat. Anyone in the service seat is in the hot seat, and my hat. Well, I'm not taking it off, but my hat is off to you, because it's grueling. It's grueling, but I just ended up saying to her because I start talking loud and I'm like, why did we not do that? And I'm like, I'm not yelling at you. This is just how I talk, and it's that passion. It's probably more passion than anger, because I just want things to be done right, and I want things to be done with the tagline with care, and I want people to be talking to our customers with care and responding to our customers with care, and again, it all starts here. So I feel like I needed to hit a little bit of a reset, and we've done that, and we've really, man. I always say, and you've heard me say this before too, Lisa, probably 365 changes everything. 365 changes everything. If you are just doing, and I've heard this from many of my industry partners out there, 1% every day, and 300 a year from now, you'll be 365% better, and that is the God's honest truth. And I know that that's happened here, and I'm excited for the future. We have a lot of new employees that we put on. We're going to bring an in-house technical support type manager in here. He was a technician with us for a long time. We're going to end up getting him in the doors here. We really want to put together a stronger office and operational team so we can. You got something, Lisa?
I was going to ask you a question.
Go, jump in. Just jump in.
So, what are some things that you've learned in the last year?
What are some things I've learned in the last year, Lisa?
Refer to your notes.
Let me look at my notes. So we wrote these down because you know something? I often fly, as you may know, by the seat of my pants in a lot of this content, and I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything out. So one of the things I learned was just when you think you know, you have no idea, right? We talked about that. Service masters. Again, we're still very strong in New York City. A lot of core accounts and key accounts that we've had because of Vinny, and we built on top of that. So, we looked at that and said, do we actually need to have that office and everything out there? So we still have a satellite office in New York where we have things happening. However, that main one, we ended up saying to ourselves, it was just overhead we didn't need. So that's one of the things I learned. In the moment, it may not seem like all these things are occurring, but they are. And of course, I wrote this, everything's a gamble. Sitting down in your office, especially after everybody's gone and you're just kind of sitting there from 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you're doing the things you got to do to get through for the next day. And you realize everything is a friggin' gamble in business. You gamble when you hire, you gamble if you let somebody go, which is the worst part for me in business. Lisa knows that. I that's the worst part of being in business, having to have those conversations because you just don't want to. But not everybody's a fit for your company. Not everybody's a fit for your business. That doesn't make them bad people. Doesn't make any of that. It's just you have a vision, you have a mission, you have a business, and you have employees that depend on you every day. And these are the decisions I have to make. So there's a lot of gambling going on. So I'm sitting down. I'm more gambling than ever as you grow because my father. I mean, what is there? 15 employees, 16? I don't know. We're over 40 now. So we're getting into uncharted territories for me. So and understanding that Malachi Cares means something, and the growing pains are gonna stack up. Malachi Cares for me. Care always equals communication. That's number one for me, and I wanted to make sure I get that across to everybody. And am I there yet? Absolutely not. I know this is a lifelong effort for me here in this building, and with my crew. And as the crew grows, I got to continue to beat that into all of us, myself included. Care is communication. Care is the respect for each other. Care is understanding what's required every day, the commitment and dedication. This is not for everybody. And it doesn't matter if you're a technician in the field, if you're in sales, if you're in operations, if you're a service manager. There is dedication and commitment required in this business, in this industry. If you're a service company, you understand that the commitment that's needed. And there's a lot of things that can be taught, skills can be taught, but work ethic, all these things that, for me, the little things, Lisa, right?
Hmm.
Being in on time, showing up every day. Those two things matter so much to me. Maybe because of my father, maybe because the customer is waiting, maybe because we have things to get done and we can't start late. If everyone started late, where would we be? We have to be on time. We have to show up. We have to show up for the people next to us. Super important. What do you got?
So someone actually asked a question.
Great.
What's been the best procedures and new innovative ways you've found to train technicians?
Oh, so I'm not gonna stand here and lie. I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth of how we do things here. Um, I want to improve on that, and I think that's probably one of the things that we are working on here, right, Lise? We're looking at, for me to really have this office in this position now that we're getting into, where I can really focus on a lot of these systems, processes, procedures internally for operational stuff, and also for our field techs coming in that are being trained. Right now, as it stands, we have 3 young men training, and they go, it's kind of like right into the fire, to be honest with you. That's how this starts out. So I'll sit down with them and I'll give them a minor trajectory path to start. Because again, with the gamble, you never know who's going to work out, who doesn't. We've had many, 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 many try, including all my friends, by the way. It just wasn't for them. So we have that 90-day probationary talk and saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. You're going to ride with a senior tech from day one. You're going to be here or wherever the technician requires you to be at that time. You are going to be alive and alert, and you are going to be asking questions, and you are going to be watching the technician. Eventually, he's going to get you in there. You're going to be manipulating tools. You're going to be on the floor. You're going to be going up ladders. You're going to be doing all these things that is necessary to get the job done. There's a lot of soft skill stuff that comes along with it. I like to ride our guys with some of our senior techs that have those, soft skills down pat, and they know how to talk to people, because that's a big piece of being a technician today. I don't think that was ever really talked about a long time ago. I know when I was here, it was just, let's just go get it done. Let's go get it fixed. Nobody cares about this. Just fix it. The world has changed, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. People want to be communicated to more than ever. I want to over communicate. So we have to let these technicians that are being trained, or technicians in training, know you have to overly communicate. That's why we put XOI technologies in place. We have picture and video on every job. The feedback on that is always great. There's never any bad feedback on that. I know it could be a grueling thing because there's technicians that are out there doing so many other things already, adding more to the plate. But I have to say, if we're providing picture and video to be transparent as a company, it's going to help the company that you work for, or maybe you're your own company. It's going to help you get paid faster. It's going to help it's going to help you, give that visibility to the person that might say, what do you mean it took you 3 hours to change this gas valve? Or there might be reasons. Let's document it. Let's show them. It opens people's eyes. So they're riding with senior technicians. They're learning how to use the technology. And then eventually what we do is we get them into CFS's NTT, which is new tech training. That'll usually happen 90 days after their first 90 days here. I want to make sure that we're on track for that before we begin to invest in stuff of that nature. So we'll get them down to, actually had a couple guys go this year. We have another one going, I think, November, and I'm looking to get, I think it looks like it's over, maybe booked up. So we're going to get some guys in early next year. So CFS new tech training, gas steam electric training over there. And there's webinars, there's in-house training we have here, and we send guys to different things. We have some things going on in Connecticut next week. We're going to be training on some things for one of our supermarkets, a piece of equipment out there. So we'll continually do that. So it's a combination right now of riding with the senior tech, which is a big piece of it, going to the factory trainings, in-house trainings, webinars, and CFESA. Is it perfect? No. I know I need to have a more laid out path for these trainees, which is something I'm going to plan on doing in the next 90 days. Shoot.
So we have some comments here, which is actually perfect for me to show the future episode schedule.
Yeah.
So Jay Maiden says technicians' soft skills are definitely important. And Ken Williams says techs now have to be people managers, such as the communications with customers and staff of the customers. So the reason why I wanted to bring in those comments is because, Rich, if you step over to your right, then I can bring, there you go.
Boom. High tech.
Coaching Technicians for Success. We're doing that episode with Nick Cribb and Super Tech University. Right?
Yes, correct.
Larry and Eric of Super Tech University. That's going to be in 2 weeks, July 26th. So I'm glad you guys are asking those questions, and it's good to know that that's, you know, a subject that you want to know more about. And so Rich, Nick Cribb, and Super Tech U will be talking about this subject particularly more on that date.
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, it's a very critical piece of the puzzle. You know, when you're out there, and this, even if you've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years, you know, maybe there's a refresher needed. Maybe there's an understanding of what, you know, we're looking to really portray. You know, if you have taglines like Malachi Cares, you have things out there. I know Nick Cribb, I know Sam Service is having joy in your work, and you want that joy to be felt by the people around you. You know, when you call up somebody, even on the phones, the front lines, how important has that been, trying to change and monitor that? You know, we've upgraded our phone systems, we've upgraded some things here, and you know, we're monitoring calls now. You know, things are being recorded, and not it's not for the fact of I want to see who's talking. We just want to pull this because we've found that a lot of customers were getting frustrated with you know, how we're handling some of these calls. What better way than for me to sit and dive in and randomly select some different calls and see, hey, listen, here's 10 calls you dominated and destroyed and killed in such a great way. Here's 2 or 3 that here's how we could have handled this a little bit better. So now next time, you know what, this should have been a stop moment. Go get the service manager, because we don't want to irritate the customer. We don't want to make it hard to do business. We want everything to be easy. In a world of craziness and people are angry. Listen, people are angry when they call here. We've always said that. I mean, and not because they're mad at us, and maybe they're not angry, but they're not happy. They're not calling here to say, hey, Rich, my fryer in my oven, just want to let you know you fixed it 8 months ago and it's working great. So thanks, bye. I mean, you don't get that. It's always my fryer's down. It's Friday. My walk-in has 20,000 on a product. You got to get here now. They know bills come in. They know product. There's a million things happening. We have to be the voice of reason from the front line of the first call to the dispatcher, getting the tech there saying, hey guys, got this, to the technician rolling in and going, relax, I got this. Let me assess the situation, and I'll be back with you. So yeah, soft skills, we're going to be diving into that. Definitely want to see. I know Nick Cribb and Sam Service are doing some. I mean, I look at them as a top line service company that's growing and doing the right thing. So there's a lot to be learned in that episode. Make sure you set your clocks for that, and then we're going to have, of course, Super Tech U, the team, Larry and Eric. They're gonna be jumping on, and they're doing big things for soft skills. So.
And so Jay also says, I'd love for you to host Colpack walk-in refrigeration training early next year.
It will be done. It will be done. All you got to do is, Jay, we'll send an email. We'll get into an email thing. You let me know what you need. I'll make sure I have it here. We do have obviously, we don't need a hood, but we do have a full test kitchen here. We have plenty of electrical, which I don't even know if we need any of that. But you let me know what you need. We can receive anything you need here. We have a big warehouse, so we'll get that going. And anyone who wants to come in the area, my doors are open.
And yeah, that's actually something that we didn't put on our list to talk about, but that's the one thing, a big thing that happened this year is a test kitchen.
That is another thing. So I see people talking just real quick. We have a fully operational test kitchen now. All the voltages, all the amperages, you name it, we got it. We're good to go. So If there's manufacturers that do want to host training here, we're a hub to New York City. Um, we're 10 minutes, 15 minutes outside of the Holland Tunnel on a good day. Access from the GWB. Listen, it's very easy to get here, and we could probably host a good, I would say, comfortably 20 people. 20 techs
Yeah,
comfortably.
we had a lot of people in our last
Yeah. So
demo.
Test Kitchen is wide open, baby.
Awesome. And Jay said he'll ship a walk-in. So that's awesome.
I love it. Okay, it'll be done. I'll hit you up right after this.
Ken Williams says, I'm 29 years into the industry now and was trained by Bob Barash, who writes the Safesa books, and he
Oh.
solidly reinforced customer skills.
Yeah, we have some of those books here for our guys. Yeah, I mean, it's a part of the job. I think there's a lot of, listen, I'm just a technician, I fix stuff. You guys that are techs are so much more. And I want to make sure that that's never devalued. I'm a big promoter of the industry, as you may know, and I fight every day. Believe me, there's a fight every day that goes down in here for these techs, for the work that they do. It's not easy, and it takes a very special, intelligent type of man or woman to do this job. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many pieces to it, and I think that's what's so exciting for the future of this industry. We just got to get these kids to understand, it's not just a wrench turning. There's robotics coming into play. There's data-driven smart kitchen equipment that are already out there. It's so much more. And then, of course, you couple that together with you got to be a people person. You're there to solve problems for somebody. You're there to make their day better, to get back to business. So it's super important. Anything else we got?
It's please let Rich know I'm with ACP Menu Master, Amanda, and Express Ovens. I can look into training for his technicians, please.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. I over at Amana, we Mark Doyle over at Amana. I know we've spoken. That's my guy. But let's host it. Let's do it. The doors are open. You let me know. I mean, for training, it's always best in fourth quarters of the year or first quarters of the year, as you know. As we get into spring and summer, it gets a little crazy around here. So for everybody. What else we got, Lisa?
So another point of things that you've learned, people are more important than ever.
And this is something that I've always probably talked about, and you can go back and look at some of my videos since 2018. But I think the last year, really, people are everything to what we're doing. And I'm sure I'm the villain in someone's story, as we all are, but I know I lead from my heart every day. I do the best I can for people. And that's one thing that everyone here, as an employee here, you're always going to get me 100% of the time. I believe that. I think that anyway. But maybe I'm biased because it's me. So, and listen, I have my days. And we all have our days, and we're all entitled to them. But people are what's driving the business. I don't care how much technology or how much robotics and all this stuff. People are the driving forces behind those things. And we've really upped our ante here and upped our game here, from not just pay, but we began to pay 80% for the health insurance, which I'll be working on, paying 100% of medical benefits here in the very near future. We're really making this a place for people. We want this to be a place that you can come and feel safe, where you can come and you need to talk to me, I'm here. You need to talk to Geraldine, she's here. You want to talk to Janine or Samantha or Lisa, we're here. Like we're here to talk through things. It's not just, I remember back in the day with my father, like, this is a business, keep this, and I get that. It is a business. But in 2023, and as we move forward, businesses have to continue to evolve. You have to see the writing on the wall and understand that people are spending the majority of their time. They're away from their family. They're here more than, you're here more than you're home.
Yeah.
Realistically, I'm here more than I'm home. I'm here more than with my family, the work family, right? We have to make it a place of solace almost. And I'm not trying to be corny or kumbaya or anything like that. I'm not saying like every day is, beautiful here, but we do our best. We put things in place to take care of people. So I'm really doubling down on that. as we move forward. And the last year really, made me see that, because I had some setbacks and some things personally here that I've done. The way I talk to people, I need to be better. The way I address things, I need to be better. And it might not, I've been told, it's not what you say, Rich, it's how you say it. That's a shift for me. I have to make sure that I'm delivering my message better. So I got to keep working on that.
So you mean don't let the business turn you into something you're not?
Which leads me into number 3. Don't let the business turn you into something you're not. And that's something that, there was a struggle with, I would say, over the last year. It was getting me into a place, and I don't want to, this is not a bash to my dad. My dad came from nothing. My dad lived a very different life than me. I'm not him, but he lit people up, man, including me. And words hurt. Words can strip you of your confidence. They can, especially when it's coming from someone you respect. That's the big kicker. Because I'll be the first to tell you, forget about what other people say. But when it comes from someone like a father, or someone, a mentor, or somebody that you really look up to, or is a hero, or whatever it might be, that's when those things start to really affect someone. And being in this building now for the last 20 years or so, stepping into bigger shoes that I had to step in and fill. I had big shoes to fill. Um, Often didn't think I'd be able to do it. Um, and the truth be told, there's still some days I'm wondering about myself. Can I do this? So if you're wondering those things, trust me, you're not alone. But the only answer to that is to keep moving. You got to keep going, because you can't stay in those thought processes forever. But yeah, I don't want this thing to turn me into a monster. And believe me, it can. If you let the business, any business, this doesn't have to be a service company. It could be any business, because you live it. Like I said, you live it, you breathe it, you eat it. It consumes you. It consumes me for sure. And I'm not saying it consumes me in a horrible way. I enjoy what I do. I want to build this. I love making sales. I love connecting with people. I love providing solutions. I love all these. I love all the little different pieces of the puzzle here that we have to figure out every day. But it's tough. It's tough, and I don't want the little things every day to pile up and make me. So that's something I've really had to dial back, and I have not been perfect, Lisa. The monster inside every now and then rears his ugly head, and I scream and yell and shout and do things. Um, Got to be being more conscious of it, and understanding that that's not me. That's how you fix it. You have to be aware. You have to constantly be aware and conscious of the things that you want to do to change them. So we've done that, and I'm doing that, and it's a work in progress. Talk to me in 20 years. We'll see how far I've gotten. I'll still be saying the same thing. I still need to improve. So
I
what do
do
we
have
got?
a question. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this, but hold on.
I'll try. If not, I'll say I can't.
What are your thoughts on UV coil cleaning?
Uh, I would say that's I don't know. My thoughts on UV coil cleaning. I mean, I I'd probably push that off. If there's anyone in here I don't really see UV coil cleaning uh, stuff going on in our area. My technicians aren't. We're not equipped for using anything of that nature. I know that a lot of that stuff came out. A lot of it was born, I think, in the pandemic. Um, maybe prior to that, I don't have enough knowledge to really to talk on it. Maybe Patrick Finley, if you're still around, or anybody that's used or seen, or any thoughts on UV lighting coil for coil cleaning. We're not seeing anything different in the field. I can tell you that from that angle, and we're just the technicians like the old school way. We're flushing it out. We got the Viper, we got the coil brushes, old school boom bang zoom, on in and out. So I can't dive too much into that though. Don't know. What else? Anything?
Jerry, well, to that question, he said, okay, just a question, was curious.
Yeah.
And then Jay Maiden asked, is that mainly for HVAC? So I guess we
Yeah.
shall
Yeah.
talk it out in the comments.
I don't know. Something to maybe look into. maybe honestly, maybe have something else, a discussion on that later down the road. If anyone reach out after, even if you reach out after, if you have anything like that, I could always put a post in the Fed group. We could always kind of continue. Listen, these are all interesting things that are happening in the industry. Might be happening in someone else's area, but I don't see it here. And we're not doing a ton of HVAC. I mean, we do HVAC, but I wouldn't that's not our core business. We do it in certain areas. So
So where else have you been this year?
where else have I been, Lisa? We've been to NAFM.
Yes.
We've been to NAFM. So again, join the Fed group. This way you're part of the team, you're part of the community. We did put on a Top Golf event,
Yes.
which was pretty awesome. Got to meet my man Jason Latimer, Andres from Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
So yeah, some people we have never met before. That was great. I mean, it was great. We had a bunch of different people there. We had the Unox team there. We had Jesus Innovative Technical One was there. The Cokers, Coker Service, American Kitchen, Josh. Everybody was. We had a lot of people there. It really turned out to be a nice little event. So hopefully we'll get to do another Fed meetup somewhere down the line, another Fed event. If you'd like to sponsor that, please reach out to Lisa immediately. We also went to NRA. So
Of course we did.
that was another great trip. I skipped over the Pizza Expo. That was it was in between. By the way, Pizza Expo. Have you ever been? Do you plan on going? I think you should. I'll be there again probably next year, and I'll be with the Pizza Group family. Francesco, Rene, and everybody over there. Wonderful people, wonderful company, slinging out some good pizza. I like pizza a little bit.
Are we gonna go to the Northeast one in Atlantic City?
So that's coming up in October.
It is.
We're going to have to discuss that and see how we want to be there, because maybe there's an opportunity to be there in a couple of different ways. Do we want to exhibit? Do we want to just show up? Let's see. NRA was awesome. Got to speak with Caitlin, who is now the one of the directors over there for the NRA. So I'm hoping to do some more things next year. Caitlin, if you ever happen to see this, let's make sure we stay in touch. I definitely want to be more part of the National Restaurant Association next year.
And one awesome thing that happened at NRA was meeting Yassine.
We met Yassine, yes, all the way from the Philippines. And I will say, you know what I did? I'm glad you brought him up, because what a wonderful guy, and you know, super smart and just super in tune with everything going on in the industry, and really became friends during the pandemic. And I did want to say this, Lisa, I didn't even tell you this, but you know, we did lose Scott McGrath this year unexpectedly. And he was one of the key people over at Origo at one point. You know, and we spoke a couple of times since around the end of last year, and then we ended up finding out that we lost him. So I will tell you what, this season is dedicated to Scott McGrath. You will be remembered here, my friend. Just an all-around good person. So.
Oh, I love that.
Dedicated to you, my friend, wherever you are. So yeah, I mean, what else, Lisa? What else do we have here? What do we got?
Look at the last line. I think that's it.
Look at the last line. No matter what life throws at you, we all must still fulfill our purpose. And the purpose of Fired Up, ladies and gentlemen, is to bring the industry together. It's to continue to build the community that we've been building over in the Fed group, bring it over here to LinkedIn, to YouTube, to Facebook, to every platform that we could possibly stream. It's also it's here to talk about the hot topics and some of the things that might be a little uncomfortable to speak about. We'll bring the controversy here, right, to Fired Up. Number one thing I always want to try to do, Lisa knows that, I want to keep things as respectful as possible. We're going to do our best this season. That's all I could say. I'm not looking to hurt anybody or any company. I'm not looking to hurt myself. It's really just about industry hot topics and things that are going on. Some of these, like, let's look at some of the things going on here, Lisa.
Do you want to move over again?
I mean, let me move over.
So this is just the first, well, the next 2 episodes, but we've got episodes scheduled through September.
Oh yeah, you guys are set. We're going to go through the summer together. We're going to go right into September together, right after Labor Day. I mean, the last episode is probably end of September or October.
September 27th, I believe, is the last
one.
one.
So we're going to take this right into the fall. So that means football will have started, and we're going to see who the Giants really are this year. All right. So But listen, we have next week is robotics. We're going to be talking about the impact that robotics are having and will continue to have on the food service industry. We mentioned tech attitudes, and then August 2nd. August 2nd. Set your clock to August 2nd, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Lisa. I'm going to be with the man, Josh Zolan,
Yep.
and the other man, Nathan Miller. You already know them. And we're going to be diving into OEM parts distribution for the food service equipment industry at large, the way it once was, Lisa. The way it once was.
So the change,
And
the impact.
where we are, and the impact that we've seen across the board. And this one can get a little crazy. I'm going to do my best to we got to keep lots of jugs of water here.
Yes.
We want to make sure we stay, again, we got to stay respectful, but we got to hit the points. We got to hit the points. We got to talk about what's happening. Changes are going to have to come, and changes are often born in times like this. So I'm interested to see how things continue to develop here. So we have some interesting announcements and different things of that nature too that we're going to be making here with some strategic partnerships, and that'll happen. That'll happen this season, Lisa. That'll happen. What else? What else? August 16th, we're gonna have some manufacturer rep dealer.
Hey, don't give out the rest of the schedule.
Oh, we're only giving out that much? Well, you got a sneak preview of the first few weeks.
People aren't gonna remember.
True.
So
well, you got the first few weeks. I see. I get fired up and I get talking and I start rambling, and then Lisa got to shut me down. That's what happens.
A little bit at a time. A little bit at a
time. Yes. So it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. We got a new little studio set up. You can't tell, but we're in a new room. We're in a new setup. We got some fired up flames right behind us. We're excited to keep this thing flowing. Again, there's a million things going on. We're going to dive into as much of it as we can. If you ever want to be a part of a live, please do reach out. We could see if we could ever get you on, get you in. We do have some things locked in, but
yeah, I would love someone else for robotics.
Yeah. We could have guest appearances. There's nothing wrong with guest appearances, bringing people in, right?
Yeah.
So
speaking of guests, we got Neil in here. He said that will be interesting. I think that was for the OEM parts. Neil is going to be on a Fired Up. Hi,
Neil, my man Neil. And so this is it. This is what we do. We're back to it. There's gonna be a lot of content coming from this day forward. Get ready. And again, your questions, comments are always welcomed here, in any way, shape, or form. Don't feel bad. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel shy. Whatever. It's all welcomed. Lisa, are we coming to the end?
Yeah. We're gonna have to put this fire out soon.
All right, we're gonna have to put this fire out. I would love to, if you're still here, watch to the end, because I want to hear your thoughts on how we end these lives, because this is just not right, Lisa.
All right.
They had to put me out. I was blazing. All right, so listen, we will see you on the next episode next Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, stay fired up.